Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Horsley, and I'll be going over my Futures project titled Kashmir, History, Conflict, and Struggle for Peace. The modern state of Jammu and Kashmir covered an area of 86,024 square miles. Prior to 1947, the Kashmir region is mostly made up of mountains with deep, narrow valleys and high barren plateaus. Kashmir, if literally translated, means land desiccated from water. Ka, the water, and Shimira, to desiccate. Tradition says that Kashmir was originally a lake that was drained by the great saint of ancient India, Kashyap. It was included in the empire of Ashokamura, who is credited with the foundation of the city of Srinagar around the year 250 BC. The region appears to have achieved a lot of prominence as a center of Hindu culture. A succession of Hindu dynasties ruled Kashmir until 1346, when it came under Muslim rule. The Muslim period lasted nearly 5 centuries, ending when Kashmir was annexed to the Sikh kingdom of Punjab in 1819, and then to the Dogra kingdom of Jammu in 1846. After Indian independence in 1947, the ruler of the princely state of Kashmir, Maharaja Hari Singh, refused to accede to either India or Pakistan. When Pakistan invaded Kashmir in the following year, the ruler of Kashmir sought help from the Indian government and agreed to place Kashmir under the dominion of India. As a result, India sent its troops to Kashmir to help the Maharaja. A UN ceasefire in 1949 saw the end of fighting and created the first line of control. India and Pakistan fought over Kashmir again in 1965. A UN ceasefire took effect on September 1965. Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri of India and President Ayub Khan of Pakistan signed the Tashkent Agreement on January 1, 1966. They resolved to try to end the dispute peacefully. Fighting erupted between India and Pakistan once again on December 1971, after the leaders of the independence movement in East Pakistan looked to India for help. Its leaders were aided by India in their struggle for independence. After the war, the province of East Pakistan emerged as an independent country called Bangladesh. A new ceasefire took effect, and the Shimla Agreement was signed between the Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and the Pakistani President Z.A. Bhutto. Both the countries agreed to sort out all issues bilaterally. As for the people of Kashmir, they are believed to be the descendants of the immigrants from India proper. As Buddhism spread there, people from far and wide came for research and study. People of Kashmir experience a culture that is a mixture of several other cultures they encountered. Roman, Greek, and Persian civilizations have influenced the culture of Kashmiri people to quite an extent. Kashmir population is a blend of people belonging to distinct races, with different looks, dresses, food habits, customs, traditions, and rituals. The people of Kashmir have 3 major faiths that are clearly dominant in different parts of Jammu and Kashmir. However, in terms of total population, Islam clearly dominates the Kashmir Valley. In addition to that, Hinduism and Buddhism also constitute a part of the religions in Kashmir. The followers of Buddhism inhabit the Lakhad area of Jammu and Kashmir state. Due to the partition of India, the conflict in Kashmir continues today, involving 3 nuclear powers, which are China, India, and Pakistan, who are in dispute over the territory. The conflict is set against the backdrop of the Himalayan mountains and valleys and involves a variety of different languages, religions, and ethnicities. The dispute over the region has continued for more than 6 decades at huge cost. Since the 1989 insurgency, 42 years after the partition, there's an estimate of at least 70,000 dead and 8,000 missing by local human rights group CCS. Today, Kashmiris face life alongside a huge military presence and ongoing militia operations. Although a ceasefire agreement was made between the between India and Pakistan in 2003, and the 2000s saw internal violence largely give way to nonviolent protests, and the calm is often disrupted by military and insurgent operations from both sides. One of the first peace initiatives in July 2000 laid a close framework for reconciliation. The largest militia group, called the Hizbul Mujahideen, declared a ceasefire against the Indian forces after covert negotiations between the different stakeholders. But the demands from the militia group, which included India declaring Kashmir a disputed territory and that tripartite negotiations should begin immediately, were not met, and the ceasefire collapsed. In 2003, another ceasefire was declared along the line of control, which resulted in 5-stage talks between the Indian and Pakistani governments, starting in 2004. Some progress was made, leading to increased trade and movement between the borders. However, talks once again took a back seat after the 2008 Mumbai attacks, which Pakistan admitted were launched and partly planned from Pakistan. This led to an upsurge in violence. Positive steps towards peace were taken in April 2012, when Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and President Asif Ali Zardari held the first high-level talks in 7 years. Although this appeared promising for the future of Kashmir, in 2013 the secret hanging by India of the last surviving member of the militant squad responsible for the Mumbai attacks, and the extremely controversial hanging of the Kashmiri Mohammad Afzal Guru, convicted by India of an attack on its parliament in 2001, led to a widespread protest and a violent crackdown by the Kashmiri government. Even though the newly elected Pakistani minister, Nawaz Sharif, has promised a new era in Pak-Indo relations, India has refused, claiming Pakistani militants are still violating the ceasefire on the ground. Unfortunately, there is still much violence and chaos in Kashmir today, and I hope and I pray that one day their neighbors, as well as themselves, can put aside their differences and have peace. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it.